pump drive hums. We're heading out, hear the battle drums. Carrier drops in these war-torn grounds. The sky is filled with a deafening sound. Loadouts checked, our nerves are tight. It's chaos out there, but we're ready to fight. Outnumbered, outgunned, our ships torn asunder. Canopy smashed, but we won't go under. They're too many and we're too few. Is this fight too much for us to break through? Outnumbered, outgunned, we're lost in the fray. Canopy's gone as the swarm comes to play. Heat overwhelmed, systems start to fail. They're closing in fast, their strength prevails. Too many to count and far too strong. This might be the end, we may not have long. Outnumbered, outgunned, our ships torn asunder. Canopy smashed, but we won't go under. There are too many and we're too few. Is this fight too much for us to break through? With a fire, a light breaks through. We look to each other, we know what to do. Training kicks in, we form our ranks. Together we stand, there's no turning back. Outnumbered, outgunned, our ships torn asunder. Canopy smashed, but we won't go under. There are too many and we're too few. Is this fight too much for us to break through?
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome. We are in a PvE build today, which is the so-called SlugRailConda, which is an Anaconda fitted with 6 medium railguns, which are engineered with long range and plasma slug. Plasma slug is a very particular experimental, which turns your weapons into something that uses fuel as ammunition, which is why this ship also comes with, I don't know if you can see them here, probably not, 2 additional fuel tanks, as the additional fuel tanks are effectively ammo for the weapon. And with 2 additional fuel tanks, it basically has infinite ammo. You can spend all freaking day here and still not run out of ammo. The additional benefit of Plasma-Slug rails is, even though they have a damage penalty, you can synthesize premium ammunition for these weapons on a one-time basis. Like, once you've synthesized the ammo, it just stays there. So you get that 30% damage back pretty much for infinity, so long as you don't manually restock the ammunition. You're good. You're going to have premium ammunition forever. So this is a gimmick of premium ammo on Plasma-Slug rails, which is very handy in making up for the damage penalty that otherwise Plasma-Slug entails. So how do you use this weapon on the Conda? Well, for one, you want to flying flight assist off, because to shoot anything in this Conda, you kind of need to have the flight assist off ability to turn the ship on a dime. And then, depending on what you're shooting, you're going to be using either power plant sub-targeting for anything like dropship and bigger, like in this case, or you're just going to be shooting the ship in case of smaller ships, because it doesn't really make sense to kind of like sub-target the power plant of an Eagle when an Eagle goes down in literally one shot. And you shall see what I mean in a moment. And then you kind of get around, and this ship fights better at range. So you will do the best at 6 kilometers away, because the convergence of a weapon is best at 6 kilometers away. So you can hit more of your railguns at that distance than you can, say, if you're fighting 1 kilometer away. So this is the odd sniper build of the PvE Anaconda. And further lances are somewhere in between there. Oh, I'm going to hit that asteroid here. You got to be a little bit careful as to where you're going. Further lances are annoying. They're kind of harder to fight because they're actually quite agile, as you can figure. So let's take one on. So let's do that. See, 3 hits, and the shield of this guy is. So this thing also has heat sinks for ages, which are handy in the case of... The other good thing is, like, you are basically impossible to damage at 6 kilometers away, because very few NPC weapons kind of do damage at 6 kilometers away. Note how we planted it now. Boom. And it's dead. I think it's dead. Through plasma, through power plant damage. So that was like kind of sort of harder NPC, by the way. But if you shoot something like that, which is an eagle, look at what happens to this eagle when I shoot it from 6 kilometers away. I also have beams, which I use to cool myself. These are really just a cooling instrument to cool myself down in between whale shots when I don't want to use instead my heat sinks. I want to conserve my heat sinks. Boom. That kind of like went down slower than I thought it was going to go down because my shooting was not that precise. There's a gunship there. Gunships sometimes are miners, believe it or not. Who would go mining in a gunship? I don't know. But that one is not a miner. That's a pirate. So we can kind of go and engage it. Again, gunship, it's at the point where you may want to sub-target the plant. Like, and again, at this range, they can't really hit you. So you're basically, like, you know, sort of invulnerable at this range. Now, you do need to have system capacitor to fire your heat sinks, which is something that I kind of forgot at this point, so I kind of switched my system capacitor back to recharge that. There you go. I've planted it, and usually in 1 or 2 hits after you plant them, they explode. Especially if you can hit them from the side like I did right now. Let's see if that was a hit. Nope, it was not, but it's 7%, so 1 more hit, and it's dead. Didn't even have a chance to get close. Yeah, railguns are hit scan over, like, the definition of hit scan is a bit tricky in my mind because railguns do have a charging period, so they don't fire the moment you press the trigger, they kind of charge up and then release and fire. And when they do fire, they are hit scan, but they're not trigger scan, they're like fire scan or something like that. Kind of making up terms here because like they obviously are my own. It's Brazilian, yes. I do have different sort of languages on all of my covices for variety, and because it's fun and add some variety to the game. I guess my Conda is Brazilian. Or Portuguese, I'm not sure. Somebody can tell me, whether it's one or the other. Alright, that is a gunship, which is pretty far away though, so but it's kind of coming our way, so and we should also kind of restore our pips to like more of a weapon-friendly configuration. Now these are bi-weave shields, and they charge very fast, which in turn means they drain your system capacitor very fast. Well, everybody's terrible at aiming Sun Hollow until they fix their controls. Once you move to Flight Assist off and you fix their controls, and I have a video to do that, let me actually... Ooh, ouch. Ah, ouch. That hurts. And you fix your controls, then your life changes completely. Alright, this guy's getting a little close, but I still should be able to hit most of my rails at this range. His power plant is 50%. He's gonna die before his plant goes down. Boom. So even when you're not hitting the plant of your enemies, like these rails do like so much damage that like even gunships go down like in seconds. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to find an Anaconda ideally, because like obviously there, or even a Python is like a mini Conda. I think of Pythons as mini Condas because like they kind of, but that's a clean Python, so unfortunately it doesn't fit the purpose. Clippers. Clippers are the easy mode like NPCs that are usually wanted, and like they're so big of a target that they're incredibly easy to hit. So their advantage is speed, but NPCs don't really use that advantage. So kind of like we need to get a bit of a boost here, like, and we probably need to stay at 2-2 here because like we do need the system capacitor and shields. All right, let's engage. Missed there. Look at this clipper. Boom. Boom. Dead. Was it 3 shots? Something like that. So again, some ships are incredibly tanky, some are not. This is an Eagle. Let's see if we can get it down in a few shots. It's 5 kilometers away. It's even hard to see where it is. Might want to turn night vision on and see if I... Because yes, it makes things easier to see. I missed. 1%. I almost one-shot it. It would have been fun to one-shot it the first time. Let's see what else we got here. One of those two pythons is going to be wanted. There's another Imperial Eagle. Let's take it down. Ooh. 2 shots. And an Imperial Eagle is down. That's the wanted python. Alright, let's see if we can sub-target that plant if we need to. But again, we've been doing very well also without sub-targeting here. So for sort of bigger NPCs, I kind of want more damage. I either going to use my beams to cool off, or I'm going to use a heat sink to kind of like get my heat down. In these cases, my beams are cooling me off in between shots. And the plant is 0, so this guy is planted. Let's see if we exploded it. Not quite, but yeah, we did. See? Like, the thing is, if you hit a power plant that is at 0% with a penetrating shot, the ship has a chance of exploding immediately, so you don't need to finish it off by destroying the whole hull. This is called planting. It works both with... I think it works. Actually, I know nothing about PvP, so I'm not going to talk about PvP. But it does work with NPCs. It does. And no, you cannot hold the railgun triggered. It will fire after a set delay if you're holding it. The weapons that you can hold are plasma chargers. Those you can hold. But they're a very different weapon. They are a very different weapon. And obviously, the best way to do it, like many things in Elite, is in a wing. Because like if you have 4 of these things shooting things in somewhat of a coordinated fashion, things go even faster. But this is one of those things where, though, being in a wing doesn't make all that much of a difference, because things die so fast when you're solo that actually waiting for people to catch up may actually slow things down. In fact, you might be better off doing this in separate instances by yourself, because it's going to go so much faster. In fact, I think we run out of baddies here. Wanted. Alright, we got a baddie there. And it's somewhat in range. So this is where it's tricky. Like, shooting hostiles at 1 kilometers away means your weapon convergence is so that you're not going to hit them all if they're head-on to you, which means you're not going to land as much damage. However, if, you know, they turn around and turn away from you, then it's a different story. I'll give it a moment to scan me and just see that I got limpets, and then as it turns away and it gives me that nice broadside of a Cobra Mark III, boom! And it's down. But that's the thing, it's like, the thing is, you're not invulnerable when you're at that range. Like, you're invulnerable if you're 6 kilometers away, but if you're at that range, you are not invulnerable. Especially if you're kind of bunking into asteroids, that also doesn't make you invulnerable. Like, alright, that is a wanted guy. Let's shoot him. Again, I'm fighting 2 against 1, so I'm using heatsink. Boom. I somehow either planted it or something else happened because the thing died really fast. Oh, hello there. Now, with only 2 pips in my weapon capacitor has been drained, and this guy is banking. I can't cancel his banks, but I can beat them. Like, I can do enough damage so that his banks sort of effectively fail. Which I did. Now, let's select his power plant. We're too close to reliably hit that plant with more than like 1 rail, so let's try hitting it with 2. Power plant is 0. Planted. See how now it's exploding at 26% hull? Boom. That's a power plant hit. Now we're taking some shield damage, our byways are regenerating, but again, we need to play it a little bit safer to kind of, again, not have our shields drop. I mean, this ship has enough hull to kind of deal with, like, your shields dropping if they need to, but, like... Let's see, there's another Python. It looks relatively chill, so that might be a miner. Yep, it's a clean miner. Adder down there, following someone. Looks more hostile than not. In fact, it's wanted. Alright, adders are another very easy target. Shield down in one hit. That was sort of a miss. It's a tanky adder. Very tanky adder. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, smaller ships are hard to hit with all your rails consistently. Like, and yes, NPCs are very dumb. I agree. Like, this is obviously very easy. This is easy mode elite dangerous, or as easy mode as it gets. Ooh, there's a wanted Viper. Vipers are also not the ideal target of a ship like this because they're fast, agile, and like pose a small target profile. I like Eagles because like sometimes they can destroy them in one single hit, and it makes for a funny effect if you can take one down in a single hit. This was not the case with this one, but almost. Eagle down, or Imperial Eagle down. One with hard points deployed there, but it's a miner, so I'll kind of leave him alone. Let's put recharge our system capacitor while we're looking for targets. Jack Henry is the wanted Viper, and he's almost in range, so we should focus on Jack Henry. That is the clean Python. Someone is taking umbrage at being shot at. There's another Clipper though, so maybe you'll take the Clipper because the Clipper's a better target. It's always worth more money and credits than, say, a Cobra. It has an escort, I believe, so it'll make things a bit more interesting too. We have heat sinks for days still. See if we can target a plant. Boom. Shields are down already. Plant is halfway dead. Plant is almost dead. Plant is 0. Let's see if we can plant it now. Did we plant him? Nope. Did we plant him now? Is he exploding? Yes, he is. Boom. And he's down. Yeah, there is a HazRes. I think there's actually 2 around here. Someone's shooting me. Hello there. Ooh, a Sidewinder, I'm afraid. Is that a... What is that? Boom. Now the thing about using this with heat, like you can spike your heat, that takes some module damage, but so long as you don't do silly things and spike your heat to like 300%, which takes forever to take it down, you should be fine. This is a gunship or FAS? FAS. FAS is weak enough that you don't let Casino hear me say that, he's gonna hate me, but it's weak enough to like not require you to target the plant, but you can. I'm mostly gonna try. Oh, it's using chaff, so no point in using my gimbal beams. I do need to sink here though. I'm out of weapon capacitor, so let's bring some of that back. Obviously, railguns are fixed weapons, so they could care less about chaff. I think we have... Do I have collectible imprints on this thing? I typically have collectible imprints on this thing to gather all the materials while I'm flying around, just to kind of like fill up while I'm kind of gathering bounties and something like that. Federal dropships. Federal dropships are not a popular ship choice. They're a difficult ship to find a use for, candidly, nowadays. It also is a very weird ship that has decent yaw but pretty poor pitch. And flying a ship kind of yawing it sideways, it's kind of very unnatural and honestly not my style of flying. So I have one somewhere down in Astro, but I don't think I've ever built one for... do you think you have enough bounties to even buy this Anaconda? Well, from this session, I don't think so, because bounties don't give that much money. I have 4 million in bounties. But bounty hunting is a very poor activity in the game, in Elite. Like, it doesn't give a lot of credits. On-foot bounties give a lot more credit. So if you're gonna ever have a choice between doing space bounties and on-foot bounties give significantly more money, and it's not even a choice. Like a single CZ is gonna give you 7 million credits or 8 for each cycle, and it takes 1/4 of the time that we've been out here shooting eagles in a freaking Conda. So when a community goal gives you a choice of combat zone bounties, space or foot, almost always foot is going to get you the biggest bang for your buck. But again, sometimes you don't want to have the biggest bang for your buck, you just want to have fun, so you can definitely do whatever you want. All right, we've identified a hostile, DBX. DBX is also like kind of on the smallish side and annoying to shoot, so is Cobra Mark III. They're not my favorite targets in this ship. And that's the Viper Mark III. So that's a combination of small ships, which are actually not in a wing, interestingly. But still, kind of small enough to be annoying. Also, don't ask me why, but I find DBXs to be surprisingly tanky for how small they are. And now I'm out of system, of engine, of weapon capacitor, but it still should be fine. Boom. Boom. DBX down. Worth 400k. 400k for a DBX. It's like, I don't know how much a DBX is, but probably worth almost close as much as a ship. Ah! That is a wing of small stuff, which is also kind of annoying. Like fighting. Oh, there's a clipper. Alright, clipper in its wing. Now that would be more interesting to fight. I'm going to probably shoot the smaller stuff first. So because that stuff is harder to shoot when you're closer. I also don't necessarily have a visual on it, because it's so freaking tiny. Where are you? I see the other one. Let's shoot the other one. Alright, sighty down. Let's get some additional pips in web. 2 shots. And here's our bigger brother. I should target the plant, but this guy is so weak that, like, it's gonna die well before I target anything. Boom. That looks like an Imperial Eagle. Whether it's friendly or not, we'll see in a second. It's wanted, so this is a small wing. Oh, let's take it down. So the funny thing is, it is possible to kill eagles in 1 shot. Like, and I've done... Ooh, did I get a bounty on that one? No, fortunately not. Now, normally, you'll be able to use your gimbals to cool, which is what I'm doing now. But sometimes they chaff, and that prevents you from doing that. Note convergence at this distance is basically impossible to hit all your shots. Well, I just hit all my shots. So that's like almost impossible. Yeah, I should put the ship build in the description below and post it in the chat. Noting that this is not necessarily a super min-max optimized build. Let me see if I can fish it out of Inara and pull it into so I don't have to manually recreate it, which would be annoying. XSF creativity. There you are. Nope, wrong one. Where are you? I have too many ships in my hangar. Creativity, there you are. Export to Etsy. Export it. Yeah, this one has an armored power plant. I'm looking if there's anything that's obviously wrong. Nope. Fix some of this stuff. Because this is really a bit of a sort of like silly fit put together. There you go, this is decent. This could be probably the better drive. So we'll do that. Interestingly, I have 8A sensors on this one, which actually is not a stupid choice considering what it needs to do. And the rest looks... I haven't even engineered fully my bi-waves. This is really a silly fit. But it works, so... Here it is. Posting it in the chat now. And pinning it. Build link. And I will put it in the video description as well, if I can't find it. There you go. Build link. So we have it in both. Now granted, again, this is not super min-max, this is not one of the super engineered to the extreme Mechan type builds. But, you know, it's PvE, so freaking anything goes here. Oh, like, there's a Pirate Pantheon. That's nice. Let's charge our system. Ooh, an Anaconda, finally! Like, I go away and, like, all the big guys show up. That's exciting. Like, now you see how this one does against an Anaconda, which is actually probably its most remarkable target, if you will. It has point defense turrets, power plant. There it is. And I gotta get some distance because, again, this is a sniper build and we want to fight from a distance. Although it's not giving me distance, so maybe we forget about it and then shoot him anyway. So I will pop a heat sinks because this thing is going to take a lot of hits to go down, but fine. Sinks, firing. Shield went down. Plant is getting hit. Now it took cover behind an asteroid. Smart. Smart Conda. Plant is almost dead. Plant is down. See if we can plant the Conda. I think we planted it. Yep, we planted it. Look at it explode. Boom! There you go. Conda planted. And we got barely a scratch with that. Yeah, this is definitely fish in a barrel. Like, sniping fish in a barrel. Like silly little ships. A gunship is not a silly little ship, but it's pretty far away, so it's also a clean gunship. Where is the Python that was looking at me before? Is that the one? It's shooting someone, so probably, presumably. Yep, there you go. Alright. This is also engaged with someone else, so it's perfect. And it's down. Well before getting planted. Now, not all hits penetrate. Not all hits go through and result in damage to modules inside the ship. Like, the chance of penetrating increases the more the hull of a ship decreases. So doing damage on a ship results in you being able to do more module damage as you do increased damage. However, when you have him looking at you from the side like this, then that results in a lot more power plant damage because it's much more likely to hit it. Did we get him? Pretty close, but I think we got him. Also, those are... I wanted to plant him again. Think we... Come on. Give me a nice explosion there. The problem from shooting it like straight from the front is these are, as you've heard, Plasma-Slug railguns. They are not super penetrator railguns. So if you hit another module before you hit the power plant, which you probably will if you're shooting it from the straight front, the damage will be applied to that module. And then there's another penetration roll to see if a railgun shot keeps going. But it becomes less and less likely that you will do module damage to the power plant, or that you will hit that you will land a penetrating hit on the plant, which means you plant and destroy them right from the get-go. So that's the downside of having. Thank you, Barum. of having a Plasma-Slug Railgun. The flip side is you basically destroy everything from this distance while they can't even touch you, so there's that. And like Viper Mark III, which is also incredibly annoying, dies in 3 hits, which is nice. Plant. We need power to sys to fire our sinks. Now we did. Put power back in web. He's banking. See if we can beat his bank. One more hit. Yep. No. We did not beat his bank. His bank is kind of making him invulnerable somehow. Ooh, PAs. Anaconda with PAs. So cool. Alright, cooling off. This we should be able to plant. That was a direct hit on the plant. That was another direct hit on the plant. I think we got him. Yep. 26% left, but he is exploding. And the Conda is planted. Boom. Yeah, cannons are great, but the problem with cannons is they tend to run out of ammunition pretty fast in my book. So, like, the cool thing about this is you have no... I mean, things like multi-cannons and the like, at some point you run out of ammo, you have to go back unless you want to send it ammunition, which is materials expensive. Like, in this case, you have... I still have premium ammo on these things, because, like, premium ammo never runs out on SlugRailConda, right? The fuel... As long as you have fuel, you have premium ammo. And that's a 30% increase in damage, which is actually quite nice. Not that it needed even more damage, but... it's 30% of a lot, which is a lot. And combined, it's really a lot. Ooh, an asp. I love firing at asps on the broadside. But... yes, and wanted. Ooh, let's go land a few hits on that asp. Not that we need to target the power plant, but since we're in range, we are in range, we might as well. Alright, switching to... now look at what happens to this asp as soon as I'm in range. Cooling off with my beams. Cooled off enough. Power plant is 0. And everything is 0. Boom. Oh, you were talking about the Viper. Oh, okay. Shield is covers 4. One hit wonders, yeah. I mean, the best way to stop face tanking them is shooting them in the face enough that they explode. That makes them stop face tanking you, typically. Let's get our system capacitor as well. Someone seeing our Core Mark 5? I haven't seen it. See an Imperial Eagle, which looks suspicious. Yep, that's wanted. It's following the clean gunship. Alright, let's provide some relief to the clean gunship. I have repair inputs, but I haven't even gotten close to needing to use them. Alright. 3 shots, boom. Again, these are the super weak NPCs, so it's like easy mode. Even though we're technically in a hazardous. Now, couriers are, again, people are talking in the chat what's the most annoying ship, whether it's the Vulture or whether the Viper Mark III is. I think the Vulture is up there in terms of like how annoying it is to actively nail down. But also completely useless to target the plant, because like we're gonna be shooting the ship, not the plant. See, I even missed. It also has very, very strong shields for a ship this small, as anybody who uses a courier would know. Now we're out of heat sinks, so things will slow down a little bit once you're out of heat sinks, unless you want to synthesize heat sinks. Granted, they're dirt cheap to synthesize, so you should. But for the sake of exercise, I can show you also like how this looks without heat sinks. You just need to use your beams to cool off a little bit more. Got him. You can cool off of ships that are exploding, but you cannot cool yourself off of ships that have exploded. And yes, pretty much anything works in PvE, I agree. Like, some things work faster than other, but yeah, I think this, like, if you do this for most of the time, this is one of the things that works the fastest. Honestly, if you really were to kind of try and min-max it and be in the top 20, top 10 commanders or something, my hunch is you probably relog if you don't get Anacondas. Like, you want Anacondas in large ships because they have higher bounties. So if you don't see them like now, I would relog and re-roll the dice to see what spawns. And do that until I get enough large ship targets. Oh, we got a hostile wing of 3. But I think... Oh, there's a clipper too. And an adder. So let's shoot the adders first. Let's get ourselves some pips in here. And let's go. Oh, come on. 1%. Can I shoot it with my beams and finish it off? I think so. No. Still alive. No. Alright, I think I got it. Where's the other one? Here's the other one. Now, I don't know if this is particularly smart, because that clipper is shooting at me, so I probably should at least get it off me, but I find shooting smaller ships more annoying, so we'll do that first. Oh, it was a one tanky adder. Also, you'll want to finish off ships once you start them, because, you know, 3 ships at 30% do 3 times the damage. 2 ships at 100% do only 2 times the damage. So, like, where is your power plant? There it is. Alright. It's banking, but I should be able to beat this bank. Yep, I beat the bank. Again, we have a problem of hitting the plant from straight in front, which is really not going to happen. And of course, from the side, though, it does happen. But this thing is going to die before we plant it, for sure. Also, we need to cool off because we're taking module damage, and after a while, things kind of start falling off a little bit. And it's down. How to get good with rails. How to shoot as precise as me. Well, it's all in your controls, man. I know it sounds like crazy to believe it, because you're like, oh, I mean, controls, how kind of a bigger a deal can controls be? But, you know, 80% of getting good at shooting fixed weapons is fixing your controls. And I'll send you a video link of where I explain how to do that, which is pretty straightforward. If you thoughts on anything for PvP, you're asking me, you're asking the wrong person. Thoughts on Vulture for PvPs, I have no idea. I don't think a lot of people use a Vulture for PvP, so probably not the greatest, I would assume, but it's spoken from someone who has no clue. Controls. There you go. So this is the video link to fix your controls. And again, this, especially if you fly mouse and keyboard, will change your elite life if you've never seen it and don't know what's being talked about in there, as it is the single-handed way to become good at using fixed weapons. And if you become good at using fixed weapons, the game completely changes for you. Like, all right, where were we? We talked about controls. Let's see if we can find something. There's a further lance. Further lance is usually wanted, so let's see if we target that one. Further lance are probably the best combination of tanky and fast, which makes them pretty nasty targets. But this one doesn't have a wing, so at the very least, well, we can also sacrifice our pips in engine, which kind of makes us harder to aim, but at this range it doesn't matter that much. So we should be able to target the plant. There you are. It's still moving away from us, so like, may need to boost. And without any pips to engine. Oh, that is a bit dangerous. So where are we going? Because like, we're not very maneuverable, but it's fine. Let's put pips in engine so we can actually reach it because it's still getting away from us. Also charge our sys so our shields keep recharging. Thank you, Baron, for your kind words. I appreciate it. All right, let's. All right, we're ready to engage. Ooh, that made it difficult to see what's going on. Mines. All right. Shield is down, and that ship is almost already dead. It's chaffing, so my gimbals will not work. Ooh, 1%. Alright, we might be able to finish it up with beams. And it's dead. Almost 1 million bounty. What we got? We got DBX, Vipers. Courier is probably the most interesting target of all here. It's in a wing of 3, so it's a very annoying wing, which I'd rather not run around chasing. Wings of 3 smalls are like the least interesting wings, honestly, to fight. Hey, Mira J. Adventure is going well, I think. Everything is exploding almost right away, so, alright, let's shoot some of these small ships. There's nothing else to shoot, so let's do that. You gotta wait. When here, you can't even really cool off with your beams because like you're too far and they don't really work at that range. Unless it's like a Conda, maybe. Boom. First one down. Let's get the next one. Viper Mark IV. Oh, hello there. See if I can pre-cool myself off. Nah, I got a shot. Let's use it. You don't want to use your beams while you're using your rails because they don't really cool you in that case. It's gonna make you hotter, like if you're firing Gauss and beams at the same time. It's a bad idea. Come on, 3%. Boom. Second one down. Yeah, Jack, you can answer for sure. Alright. In fact, if the chat can answer some good questions, that'd be nice. Appreciate it. Should really use turrets in some cases here. It's like, but gimbals cool more than turrets, so there's that. Cooling from thermal vent basically inverts the thermal load of the weapon. So the higher the thermal load of the weapon, the more the weapon cools you. And which type of weapon has the highest thermal load? The answer is gimbals, which is why most builds that use weapons for thermal venting will prefer gimbals because they cool you the most. Not because really of any other reason, since they're utility weapons on most of those builds. So now we're further lands, pretty far, but we should be able to reach it. All right, getting closer. Target the plant. Getting in range. It's facing sort of me, so I don't think we're going to be able to plant it much, but we can shoot it. Oh, we're getting a little too hot. Got some cooling off. Ooh, plasma accelerators. Almost planted. Getting a little too hot. Plant is 0, so if we get a shot on the plant, we might be able to plant it. Got it. Planted. Well, and dead. I don't think we planted it. Kind of. Oh, I should pin, by the way, the build link. I think I posted it here somewhere, but I forgot to pin it. Thanks for a reminder. Where is it? Here it is. Pin. Pin message. All right. I think I pinned it. Not sure, but you guys tell me. Let's get some power and piss. Yeah, I mean, console unfortunately has been abandoned as far as like active development of a game is concerned, which means much of the active player base has migrated to PC, has done the account conversion. I don't really know what's happening still in Legacy. I'm not following. It's almost like a separate parallel universe that I'm not a part of, really. That is a wanted DBX. Again, I don't like DBXs, but it's fine. I don't mind shooting them. Off a little bit. Got it. DBX down. See what we got. NASP Scout. Just running away anyway. Cobra Mark III probably also running away. Yep. Another one running. These guys are all leaving. That dropship doesn't look like it's leaving though. So maybe we can go after it. Let's go after it. Alright. Chapped, so again, not be able to cool much. Have to gonna wait it out, realistically. Again, cooling off. Ooh, it's turning away, so let's see if I can get a hit on the plant. I could not. I got the plant now, though. I think we planted it. If not, we'll get it now. That was a direct hit on the power plant, so, like, unlucky that it didn't get planted. This time it should explode, though. Come on. You got 12 direct plant hits. And now again, from the front, we're not going to be hitting the plant, so now we just take it down the old school way. And down it goes. Let's see what else we got here. We got boring stuff. We got nothing really interesting. We got a bunch of wakes. Alright, what we got in terms of bounties for now? Someone's got to remind me to actually sign up for a community goal, so otherwise this 12 million is going to go down the drain. But again, I think, to me at least, the main highlight of this build is, again, you never need to go rearm. I mean, you could if you want to get some heatsinks back, and that could speed things up a little bit, but really doesn't make a huge difference. And that looks like a friendly asp that's gonna get shot at. Yeah. I wanted adder. That wanted adder at this range is not gonna live very long. Unless it hides behind an asteroid, then it might survive longer. Almost in range. Alright, here we go. 2 shots. Boom. Rachel Taylor is scanning me. Hello, Rachel. Ouch. I gotta pay attention where I'm going. Oh, there's also Piggy Hansen. You are. It looks like you're in a Viper. Ah, that's 2 standalone pilots in society. Those looks like wings. I'm not sure they're hostile, but. Oh, we got vultures. Someone was talking about fighting vultures. Any specific reasons for Anaconda over Cutter or Corvette? Yes, a very simple reason codename, because none of those 2 other ships can fit 6 railguns, have a class 8 power distributor to fire them all with good convergence. Like, so as Synthetic Humanoid is saying, better weapon convergence, better power distributor than the Cutter, better flying than the Cutter. And the main advantage of a Corvette, which has 2 huge hardpoints and slightly better handling, doesn't really come into play here. In fact, the fact that Corvette is very slow, it's probably works against it. Alright, that guy, should we take him down? Let's do it. Someone said something about vultures being annoying. There you go. Boom. They can be annoying, but not for long. Alright. Now, where was that? What was it? The nasty one that went scanning? Oh, especially if a vulture's at that range. I'll see what happens to a vulture at that range. Oh, more vulture. Yeah, huge railgun. Well, 6 medium railguns at 6-kilometer range is like a very huge, big mega railgun in practice. So think about it that way. This is a minor. Where are the hostiles that were scanning me earlier? Where did they run? Down here? I think it's actually that. Yeah, it's that wing, I think. It's that DBS. DBS is surprisingly weaker than the DBX as an NPC. I have no idea why. And the DBS is down. Who is scanning me? Someone behind me, I guess? No? Dolan is clean. Where are you, scanner person? Oh, there you are. Ooh, good. Dropship. Again, dropship makes for really good targets. Because they kind of suck as ships. Pulling off. Ooh, ouch again. And we can finish it off with our beams. Also cool off while we're at it. Wow, beams are really slow. So, let's do it with rails. Boom. Alright, now we're probably going to hit an asteroid down here. Or close to one. That is probably a friendly because I don't see a lot of Type 6 pirates around here. There's another Type 6. Pete Stevens is scanning me. Where is Pete Stevens? There you are. Ooh, and an Imperial Eagle. Again, it's not going to last very long. What's the idea with it being a Conda? Why not have any other vessel? Mechan asks Sun Hollow. Well, it ties to what I was talking about earlier. I think this is the only ship that can fit 6 medium weapons with good convergence and power them all with a Class 8 power distributor. That's the reason. I mean, are there better maneuverability ships? Sure, but can you do things like this in a Mandalay? Answer is no. You can't do this in a Mandalay. Like double tap ships at 6 kilometers away with perfect convergence. You can have more fun, probably. I think actually more fun to fly a Mandalay. Actually, you know, we'll do a vote. There's 2 options here. We can stay around and fly a little longer with the Conda. So let's do a poll. Or we can go and fish out 4 flechette. So stay with Conda or grab flechette. Mandy. Question mark. Conda. Mandy. Alright, see what the poll says. Now, the Conda is much better at killing things. But the Mandy is more fun, let's be honest. Even if it's not going to kill anything with its flechettes, or very little stuff with its flechettes, it's a lot fun. It's a lot more fun. Oh, that's a wanted Viper Mark III. Is there anything bigger than a freaking Viper on here? Come on. There's a FAS. Is that hostile? It's coming at me. Presumably it is. Yeah, it's hostile, so let's shoot it. Where's the plan to this thing? Should have shot off its FSD, not that it matters at all, but... Plant is 0. And it's dead. Alright, you guys, I think overwhelmingly voted Mandalay, so let's go and turn these bonds in before I totally forget, which I promise you I will, if I don't turn them now. So, I'm going to turn these bonds in, and then we're going to go fetch out our Mandalay. Now, our problem with Mandalay, for me at least, which is a very idiosyncratic problem to myself, is that I have 2 Mandalays. One is a taxi build, which has derated everything. And the other one is an AX Mandalay, which has no shields. So... so both of them are not exactly HazRes builds. But I guess I can slap a shield onto a AX Mandalay and somehow make that work. No, AX missile racks are complete garbage, which is why I don't have them. But the thing is, people like to make fun of flechettes, but I will show you they are not as bad as people like to joke about. They are not that bad. They're not great weapons. They're nothing like what you just saw here. I promise you that too. But they're not the meme weapon that people are saying that flechettes actually are. So shotgunners are an interesting one. They're on my list of weapons that I want to test, but the problem with shotgunners is you can't really engineer them. And unengineered shotgunners, saying that they're lackluster, I think, is a polite way to refer to them right now. Yeah, one of the issues is they also have very limited ammo. But again, the key point of this build, which I think I've shown you, is I could have kept going for the whole freaking day. Look at my fuel. I've done like less than 1/3 of my fuel, considering I've been jumping around and super cruise overcharging around and like, yeah, effectively infinite ammo. All right, I might be coming in a little hot here. Yep, just barely. I mean, you guys seem to love shot cannons. Maybe I should try them out. I need to unlock them first, so that may take some doing. But oh, wrong button. Sorry. But yeah. Note, 0 hull damage and minimal module damage, which, by the way, would take a nanosecond to repair if it came to that. Yeah, I mean, frag cannons are not only better, but frag cannons you can engineer. So, again, if you want to see like something that hits really hard, albeit with limited ammo, I can take out my ungankable Corsair out to HazRes and show you how that does, and it does pretty freaking well. Not for long though, because rapid fire passive fires run out of ammo in like very, very, very quickly. But so for so long as they do have ammo, they are just murderers. But talking about like, you know, applying FA off controls, like I'll show you, like I'll dock this Conda and flight assist off right now just to show you like that it's a lot easier than it sounds. By the way, I've been assigned to pad 40, which everybody who has a Panther clipper knows is a dreaded pad, because like the autopilot of the Panther doesn't know how to dock on pad 40 and gets you stuck inside the station. Like, but
Reduce your speed now, Commander.
yeah, I'm slowing down. I got you, man. Right, the Conda is not exactly the easiest to land an FA off, because like you're freaking big. Making it through a mail slot requires a bit of finesse like this. But once you're through, it's actually easier in my view to kind of like dock FA off than it is to dock in FA on, because you can match rotation of the station and just naturally drift while passing the spot that keeps getting snagged by the autopilot on the Panther. And then you slow down, gently get on down. I forgot to actually put my overlay on. I can put it back on now that I think about it. But I also forgot to put my landing gear down, and that might be a bigger problem with landing than my overlay. Alright, I think I have my landing gear on now, so as soon as the landing gear like finishes, there we go, should be docking now. So again, once you get the hang of it, it's like super straightforward. Let me pull on my overlay, because like it's kind of part of the experience, and it's a nice thing to have up and running when it's up. Where is it? We'll ask you guys for your opinion on where did it go. Aboard, and the overlay should be up now. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about background music? Like, not the obnoxious in your face, but kind of relatively low volume Mechan music in the background. Like, you prefer Mechan music in the background, or you prefer silence and just me talking in the background? That's another decent poll. No music, low volume music. What do you prefer? Question mark. There we go. All right, remind me to sign up for the CG before I turn these in, please. I have done, like many of us, I have done something silly. Sign up. I am signed up. I know. So what? Actually, let me read the instructions. Like, engage parents, redeem bounty vouchers at Starlight Station. I am a Starlight Station. I think so. Yes. So if I redeem bounty vouchers now, they should count. I think. So let's do that. 14 million. Boom. And I think we're done with that. All right. So what's Mechan music? Okay. So there's a majority of people saying low volume music, and someone is even asking what is Mechan music. So we gotta put it up. So let's do it. Spotify. Spotify is up, and let's also add snip so you can see what is now playing. Go here. Snip, 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 snip. Snip is up and running. I think we got snip up and running. Now playing. Snip now playing is not loading for some reason, but hopefully once I do play something it shows up. Let's see. Mechan music is this. All right. And you can tell me what you think of the volume compared to my voice and how it comes across. Oh, that's sweet, Mira. Is that barefoot as well? Ouch. Sometimes getting out is trickier than getting in, but we gotta. Flying meltdown, yeah, 6 hammers run even hotter. Okay, we got the now playing. Pull came up, so we got that. My carrier is annoyingly 2 jumps away, but let's do it. Oh, 7 initius, and everyone who's here on the stream, by the way. Oh, that's cool. Now we gotta play with making a mandolin. You don't hear any music. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Now that is something which needs addressing. I was like jamming away to music that you guys are not hearing. That's because that was not configured correctly. But now it is. Whoa, and while I'm doing it, I'm about to crash into a star. But somehow I didn't. Alright. We're the AXI and we're here to defend. Where is my car? Oh, my car is one more jump away. That's where my car is. Stars burn bright. The Fargoids. Alright, here we go. Glory to mankind. I am in, I think my own private group or something. Like, I don't know if I have you. I had to do a general massive cleanup of my friends list, Mira J, because like, not everybody who was on my friends list was friendly last Saturday. So there was some enemy intelligence working against me, and so I had to do a massive cleanup on my friends list. But if you send me a friend request, I'll accept it and I will pull you into my private group. I need to do something similar with Xenostrike 4's private group, so yeah, spies, enemy spies. Right. And this is the first album. This is Glory to Mankind, which is a combination of songs with lyrics and instrumental pieces. Which I don't know. I use instrumental pieces for a number of things that don't go well with voice, like as background tracks for videos and the like. So that's really the main fundamental reason. But they also make for like nice background listening when you're kind of gaming and whatnot, and you don't want somebody screaming about Fargoids in your ear. But I think almost universally the ones with lyrics are appreciated. And yes, they are made in Suno. The Glory to Mankind album, this one, is made in Suno version 3.5, and the latest album, Heroes of Mankind, is made with Suno release 4. And the interesting thing is they actually do sound quite different. Like, for instance, let me play something from Heroes of Mankind. Actually, my favorite from Heroes of Mankind, which is a Pleiades stand, which is this one. Yeah, it's available on YouTube Music too. It is. I can probably dig it up. So in fact, technically, YouTube Music Glory to Mankind. There it is. Found it. This is the YouTube music link for Glory to Mankind. Might be the song instead of the album, but if you find the song, you can probably find the album. It is scary and pretty good, yes. I mean, this, especially the first one, Glory to Mankind album, had surprising success commercially too on Spotify. It was one of those projects that I was like, I'm gonna do it just because, like, you know, it's cool, and it's cool to have like, an album on Spotify that's about Fargoids and Elite Dangerous, and it's cool music that I enjoy, so I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna do it because I want to listen to it on Spotify. But it turned out to be a hit. Like, that thing has, I think it passed 100,000 streams worldwide now, globally, across services and the like. Actually, definitely has. Might be going for 200,000, which for a fan project made with AI with a production budget of $20 is is incredibly better than I thought it was gonna do. So, and now if I kind of stop multitasking, I might be able to dock my Conda. Thank you, Tooms. Let's drop our limpets, because I don't think our... Well, Mandarin might actually have a 64-ton rack, but we may want to use it for a shield. Oh yeah, sorry, Barum. As I mentioned, I cleared up 80% of my friend list. Like, oh, actually, I think around 90%. What experimental or pre-engineered rails have? They have feedback cascade, according to the announcement. All right, now let's find my Mandalay, my AX Mandalay, which is this one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna store all of its hard points, which by the way, we can do more quickly if we do it this way. So let's do it this way. We stored our hard points. All right, yeah, Ghost Draft. I trust Ghost Draft. I don't know if I have my small rails here. I think I have them on... where do I have them on? I think I have them on my Cobra Mark 5. So I just need to go on the Cobra Mark 5 and grab some weapons. I have some slug rails too there. So there was a whole debate about PvP. So in general, in PvP, you don't really care that much for high capacity. High capacity is more of a convenience, I guess, for PvE. And the problem with high capacity makes the guns really heavy, and that's undesirable for the agile PvP builds that you want. Oh, more flare! Yeah, come, awesome. Like, come on over. Mira J. So what do I want to do here? I want to get the rails out of this thing. And actually, I need to get the flechettes too. So let's do that too. If you didn't know this trick of storing the hard points this way, so that you don't have to watch the animation every time, this is such a huge time saver. Like, learn this trick, learn the store multiple trick. All right, do we have anything here that we would need? We probably would need this shield boosters, but do I really want to mess with my builds this much? I guess. All right, let's do it. All right. Let's see what we got lying around in terms of shields and the like. This is going to be a complete crap fit. It's not going to be a good build, but it'll work. Which system am I hitting for the HazRes? I'm hitting the CG system, like we're doing CGs, really. Well, you're going to see in a moment, Josh, since we're putting flechettes on this thing. I want to spoil it for you. But without spoiling it, I think it's fair to say they're not that great. But not as bad as people think. So there's that. The thing is, I love flak. I really have a lot of fun with swarms and using flak cannons. So the fact that flechettes were kind of the same, you know, I like it. Just because it's fun, not because it's good. Did I get flechette? I sometimes pick up flak by mistake. So. Alright, no, wrong one. These are Plasma-Slug rails. These are good when shields fall after flechettes kind of batter them down. Cool. Now the question is, what do we put here? I think we have to kind of store a bunch of crap. 1, 2, 3. This stays here. This is fine. This is... well, I probably need a shield of some kind. I don't know what I got lying around, though. If I'm bringing repairs, I probably should bring limpets, too. So let's do that. I hate messing up my builds because then I forget what I put where, and then like when I have to kind of put them all back together, it's like really big hunt. Oh, where is that module gone? Alright, shield boosters. 0E shield boosters are so underrated. They practically use no power and have almost as good rating as A-rated shield boosters. They're like a super weapon for capacity constrained builds that people gloss over often. Let's see what we got in terms of shields. Oh, I got a 6A prismatic. Enhanced low power. Why did I make a low power prismatic? What's wrong with me? Why did I ever do this? I don't know. I got a bi-weave reinforced without experimental. This is probably a lot better. So let's do this. And I need some kind of cargo arc here. For at least some number of... Alright, shield boosters are up. I need to power prioritize my cargo hatch. Otherwise, everything's going to shut down. I think I did that. I actually might be able to keep AFD on 4. Which I think it is. Weapons going 2. AFME on 3, shield thrusters, PD is good. This should be on 5 normally, but now I think it can stay on 4. This should be 3, and this is good. Alright, now fire groups. Flechettes on 1, rails on 2, and then repairs on the second fire group. And that should be it. Simple as that. Alright. Mira J, who are you? Are you Bayram? I think your commander. I'm trying to figure out who's who here. I presume your commander Bayram Farsi, so like that's there. And then Mira J, JD Mew. Alright, so. And if anybody tells me who Zebedila is, I'll look at that one as well. Did I get my limpets? I'm not sure I got my limpets, so let's double check. No, I didn't, so good I double check. Alright, now I need to pull you into my friend group, JD Mew, though, because I think... friends, JD Mew... There you are. I think you have to request. I don't think I can invite you. I think you have to request to join my power group, and then I can approve it. There you are. Never mind, you're ahead of a game. Right. Oh, Zibadila. Okay, so, but are you one of the PvP squad mates of Ragav who's gonna come and shoot me, or are you one of the PvP squad mates of Ragav who's still gonna PvP but it's not gonna come and shoot me? Which one of the two are you? Right. Alright. Alright, so let's accept that one too then. And Chuck PR is Alexander Garcia Belto. There we go. Alright. This is all sorted out. I got promoted to Admiral last night. I finally did my Fed promotion mission, so I am officially a peer of Adjutant Tanner. You guys remind him of that next time you talk to him. Alright, let's go back to Minerva. Good thing it's a single hop with him, Andy. Should be at least. I did not see that Hogman Hog. Interesting. Yeah, I know. They always say that. We'll see if he shows up to shoot me. You know, if he shows up to shoot me, that's okay. I mean, I've been shot at for like quite a while last Saturday, so like, granted, this ship is not exactly as likely to get away as the previous one, but fine. Right. Yeah, commander friendly. Commander definitely will not shoot you. Alright, let's go. Where is it? HazRes here. Let again. Oh yeah, I mean, Saturday is fair game. Like Saturday was, you know, it was an event designed for that. So, I mean, many of my friends were hunting me. So it was like many of my actual friends, not just friendless people, like actual friends. Yes, Illustrate. There's a new CG that gives out some pre-engineered railguns. All right. Thank you, Bayram. As always, very kind. Alright. Why do you use Plasma-Slug on a build that has to restock heat sinks anyway? So you better just take the extra damage from normal rails. Because they run out of ammo. I mean, it's not like, again, you saw I was out here for like 2 hours and my heat sinks, I mean, I did just fine even without heat sinks. I mean, things with heat sinks go a little faster, but you don't have to use heat sinks, right? I never lost my shields. I took on wings of 3. I did pretty much anything you can do in a HazRes with 0 risk without heatsink. So, I mean, see, the heatsinks are nice to have optional. And by the way, you can synthesize them. Like if you're really fussed about them, they're like G1 mats. You have 150 synthesis in a dirt cheap package. So if you ever want more heatsinks, just synth more heatsink and keep going. Like, but again, it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, here we are. So, Mira J is nearby. I'll team up. Alright, so this thing is not as immortal and as invulnerable as the previous one. But it can how do we want to fly? How do I want to fly? 222? I'll start with 222 and see how we do on 222. Like, take it from there. It's a keel back. Those look friendlies. Alright, we're getting more context here. That looks like a miner also. I want to see if I can take something bigger, like a clipper would be nice. See if I can take it. That's in a wing of 3 though. Not sure I want to take on a wing of 3 as the first thing I do. Maybe when Mira J gets here. Right. I've never used a manually with flechette, so I kind of want to get a feel for it first. Also, the way you should fly this Manda is like boost and scoop. But I have my cargo hatch off, so that's not gonna work. I could boost and gear, but that's harder to do, so... Is that another wing of... That's a lot of wings down there. Is that a lonely dropship? That is a lonely dropship. See if we can go after that one. Alright. So, flechettes have, like, quite the range, but it's practically impossible to hit anything at that range, so you gotta get closer. Now that was a hit. This guy got point defense, by the way, so it will shoot down some of the flechette incoming. Look at the hollow, 66%, without the shields even being damaged, 56. 44. And dead, with the shields up. See? They're not that useless. I mean, they are not that useless. Anybody who say, oh, these are meme weapons, blah, blah, blah. I mean, maybe for PvP, but for PvE, I mean, there's worse. There's far worse. And again, I'm waiting for Mira to come and take on the wings of 3. Or at least until I kind of warm up and get some practice out here. That one's a friendly. Or maybe I should take on a wing of 3. Like, cause like, why not? Is that a Python? With what? With a Viper? Asker? It's a wing of 2. Come on, a wing of 2 I should be able to do. But the problem is, it's hard to tell who's in whose wing here right now. It's like... Alright, let's take this guy here, Tobias. At this range you have to use the rails because, again, you're not going to hit the flechettes. Plus, with such a fast ship like the Viper, you kind of generally want to prefer rails anyway. Shield down. Alright, now we should be able to get a flechette shot once it does its pass over on me. But we might be able to kill it with just with our rails. And it's dead. Now where's the other one? On my tail. So this guy instead we want to shoot with flechettes. And it's got point defense, so we gotta be a little careful on how. Well, we got them all. Interesting. But it's not gonna get them all the time. And if we boost, we can run and dance around it. That was a missed shot. Oh, and that was me shooting myself in the face. That happens with flechettes, so, you know, I gotta be careful. Skill issue hurts. Point defense looks like it's shooting more effectively from the front, so something to keep in mind. I think I shot myself in the face again. That is unfortunate. That was a good hit, I think. Now, what I want to do is I want to see how its modules are doing. Maybe it's too early. See how much module damage is taken overall? Like, where is shield generator? Here. Well, now I'm not looking where I'm going, but... Where is it? There you are. Hey, JD Mew. Or Mira J. I could use rails, but it's like cheating. I want to use my flechettes, so I know pips. But I think I'll stick to 222 for now. Like... An interesting thing that I'm kind of figuring is these things do quite a bit of hull damage, even with... Oops. Even with the module damage that they do. I think that was a decent hit. Boom. Looks like it's gonna die before its shield dies. Yep, 6%. The hull damage I took from my own flechettes. There we can actually get here. That was a decent hit. Not a direct hit, but a decent hit. And it's down, I think. We got him. Woo! More than 500,000 bounty. It's like a tough python. Mira has shock cannons. I thought you were bringing flechettes. Instead you brought shock cannons. Shock cannons, I think they're purely kinetic weapons, so they're kind of used to work on hulls. But whatever. Let's see what else we got here. We got purple hostiles also going after Mira J, so this is like a rails kind of guy. Flechettes also do hull debris, hull damage, like hull breach damage, which supposedly increases damage taken by ships, but I don't know like how that works, honestly. Also, like, kind of figuring out the release timing when these things pass you at like 600 meters per second is not exactly straightforward. But I got some hits in, even though it's like this guy is banking. I'm not gonna be able to cancel that bank. I got nothing to cancel that bank. I got flechettes though. Hit it despite the shields. Banking again. I got not canceling that bank. Let's see if we can land a flechette hit. I think I landed one. Yeah, I did. The arrow of effect of flechettes is not as wide as you'd think it is. You're gonna need to land those hits relatively close too. Yeah, let's focus the courier because it keeps banking. Missed. Alright, shield down. You got shock cannons, use them. Missed. Ooh, hold my fire. I think you can tell the difference between this and the... Ooh, again, hold fire. Trigger discipline when somebody of your wing flies in your face. Alright. This guy's down. This guy's shooting Mirage. Oh, another courier. Alright. Let's see if we can get some flechettes on target. Wow, look at the sound of those shock cannons. I like it. I don't think I've ever seen shock cannons directly in action. I've seen videos of them, but I've never seen somebody in my wing use them. I hit myself too with that flechette, but whatever. I think you rammed him or something. Anyway, shield is down. Your target. Missed. Running. But it's not running anymore. And it's down. Alright. What are we shooting? Something bigger. Ooh, Conda. Nice. Alright. So, flechettes and Condas. Me likes. Let's do it. PD shot it down. PD shot it down. See if we can shot it down from point blank range, though. PD is quite effective at taking that flechette down. Ooh. And I'm very effective at shooting myself in the face with it. Alright. Ah. Shot it out. That PD is shooting them all down. That was actually a pretty decent hit, if I say, considering the circumstances of how it was fired. Last round of flechettes. Landed a good hit. And now we rail it. It did very little module damage. And it's banking. Alright, we're not going to beat that bank, I'm afraid. And my railguns are also malfunctioning, which doesn't help trying to beat that bank. Alright, we are going to deal with those shields the way Mechan usually deals with Fargoid's shields, which is this one. There we go. Shield problem solved. Kinda. No, it's banking again. NPCs sometimes have like banks that kind of survive unsurvivable bank things. It's like very odd. Alright. Whoa, look at those shock cannons. Alright. Now I see why people are saying they're good. They're good when shields drop. Until shields drop, I'm not so sure. That was a good mag dump. Trying to plant this thing, but my guns are all malfunctioning. Staring straight at my face, which means I'm not really getting that plant. See if you can get his attention. Alright, turn around. Now I should be able to hit that plant. And both malfunction when I had the hit. Why? Well, because they're at 0%. Well, it does help weapons malfunction when they're at 0%. That'll do it. That will do it. So this is primarily from me flashetting myself in the face, because like, for whatever reason, like external modules like take massive damage from them and don't really seem to be protected by MRPs. So, like, boom, boom, miss. And it's dead. Alright, this is Flashettes for you guys. Yeah, Bear, I'll have you join, but I think we're kind of done here for the day, since we had a good run both with the RailConda, which was the point of this. So I'm going to ask the question, which is what the stream is about, see what you guys think. Is the SlugRailConda truly the king of HazRes sites? Question mark. Oh yeah, or no way. See what you guys say. Alright, out of here we go. Thank you for joining me, Mira J. Like with your flashettes. It's always cool to see the shock cannon since I've never seen him in action, so I appreciate that. Alright. You're welcome, thanks for joining everyone. Let's see what the poll says. Inertial impact burst on a Python 2 for me. That's also pretty good. 5 shock cannons on a gunship or Corsair until you run out of ammo, which is soon. But yeah, they are great. Alright, now we gotta unsure I can change this thing because like this is not my music anymore. So let's go back to Years of Mankind. Like, alright, let's see what you guys think. And the poll, I guess get 1 more minute and then end the poll. Yeah, I mean I want to test shock cannons. I never tried them. They're on my list. Pretty high on my list. Might be the next thing I test, actually, yeah. But what do you use, Mira J? Gimbal or fixed? What's the way to go with shock cannons? Gimbal or fixed? Alright, I'll give it another vote or two. But would you go fixed? Or would you stay with gimbals? Oh yeah? What have you learned about them? Mira J saying in the chat that she's learned something funny about shock cannons. And I know nothing about shock cannons, so I'm curious. Alright. Well, why don't you do that? And then you tell me if they're any good, then I will too. Right. NPC pilot doesn't get jitter shot bloom, when you're using the fighter. Oh, that's cool. Okay, oh, that's cool. Alright, let me fix my ship before I forget completely how the ship was set, because at some point I'm gonna say I want to take my AX Mandalay out for a spin, and I'm gonna find myself with flechettes. And I'm like, what did I do to my AX Mandalay? So let's drop all this stuff. And the biweave. And the anti-corrosion cargo rack. And an HRP there, I think. I don't know, Noctis. Again, I'd never used it. Maybe Mirajo knows. Ah! Wrong button. Anyway, I can always buy them back. This was an HRP, I think. Yep. Alright, let's see what the summary of the votes is. So 2 out of 3 among you say that the SlugRailConda is indeed truly the king of HazRes sites, and 1 out of 3 say that no, it isn't. The results are in and the people have spoken. What did I have? I have a caustic zinc launcher here. And a shutdown field neutralizer. I think this is like a configuration for combat zones. One click, one shot, yeah. Everything else looks fine. Weapons, whatever, we'll figure it out. Whenever I take it out next, the rest looks good. I think more or less fixed my Mandalay. So there's that. Alright guys, thank you for joining the stream today. Hope you had fun, enjoyed watching like a truly OP build, which is the RailConda, and a completely off meta build, which is this flechette Mandalay. Go to Mankind, go on to Mechan, over and out.